Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Storm Track 7 meteorologist Danny Cassie. For tonight, things are fairly quiet. We'll have clouds building in from west to east, and low temperatures will be in the mid to upper 20s. Winds will be light out of the south, around 5 to 10. Tomorrow morning, we could see maybe a little bit of a chance of an isolated rain or freezing rain shower. It'll be light, but could see some patchy slick spots on the road. After that, strong southerly winds gusting up to 25 will make it pretty warm during the afternoon. We'll have high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s and possibly low 60s south of I-80 and for our western areas. So pretty nice because that would be about 20 degrees above normal. So we'll show you that rain/freezing rain chance here for tonight, or I should say early tomorrow morning and then into the day on Monday. So you can see clouds are going to build in from west to east. You're noticing that cloud cover building in. That'll continue through the night hours. And there's a little bit of that rain. Again, that could be some freezing rain through the overnight hours into early Monday. That'll continue. Then by noon, it'll be out of here. And even I think from about 7 to 10 would probably be the best chance that we see any of that freezing rain. Most of it should be rain, but with temperatures below freezing overnight, that's why we're going to put that out there that we could see a little bit some slick spots on the road, so just be mindful of that. Then during the afternoon, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Then clouds build back in during the evening. Then a couple of scattered light rain showers. I want to emphasize that Monday night it'll stay as rain as temperatures are well above freezing into the 40s. That'll be on and off throughout the overnight hours, and then the Bayer system will move in Tuesday morning into the day. Tuesday, that'll continue to move in, and that's going to be the start of a potent March system that we're usually accustomed to around here that'll start as rain and end as snow. And with that ending of snow, we have very strong winds. This is a very strong system. We could see wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour, kind of like we had on Friday with wind gusts as high as 66 in Waterloo. With that, winds are out of the northwest, so we're going to see things cool down quite a bit. We could see some falling snow that could lead to blowing snow with how strong the winds are. And if it's cold enough, possibly accumulating snow leading to tricky travel situations, especially during the Wednesday morning commute. So we do have a Storm Track 7 yellow alert day for Wednesday. This is a very complex system, a very strong one that's going to impact areas all the way kind of close to the United States-Canada border, all the way down to the southern tip of the United States and the Gulf. You notice that this is the same system that's going to affect us Tuesday. It brings us rain. It's going to bring severe weather to portions of the south central United States. You can see a level 3 risk for parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and a level 2 risk there reaching into central Missouri. You notice the level 1 does stay outside Iowa, but that doesn't mean we couldn't see some thunderstorms with this. Not expecting any severe weather though, but this is a thorough system that's going to take a little bit of explanation here, so bear with me. So here's kind of a timeline of what we can expect starting Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. So it's going to start off as rain. It could be moderate to heavy at times, especially through about midnight. And early on, gusts aren't too bad, but we could see gusts maybe up to 25, close to 30 miles per hour. Then sometime after midnight, it transitions into some snow as it goes from west to east. And while that's falling with those strong winds, possibly gusting up to 55 miles per hour, that'll reduce visibility, especially as that snow is falling. That will last into the late morning, into the early afternoon hours. Now the question with this is, and we'll talk about this later, once it transitions from rain to snow where we are, the moisture isn't going to be as plentiful because we're kind of going to get cut off by that southern part of the system. They're going to kind of get all that moisture. So we'll have to see how much does feed into the snow after it transitions from rain to snow. But anything that falls, I wouldn't worry too much about accumulating snow. Anything that falls is going to make things tricky. Just accumulating snow would be just more treacherous conditions. So I know we always talk about snowfall being, all right, we're going to rate it as how much snow does fall. This one, I wouldn't worry about that as much. With the warm ground, as well as snowfall rates not potentially being heavy enough for it to stick, with strong enough winds, it'll be tricky no matter what, even if just a little bit of snow is falling. So with that being said, let's time this out. This is Monday at 7 p.m. We'll see that light rain as you just saw earlier. That'll continue to move through the overnight hours. And then starting Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., here's the brunt of it. The dark greens, that'll start to move in, especially in the noon hour onward from south to north. We'll see moderate to possibly heavy rain at times, and this is where we could see maybe them thunderstorms, Then here comes midnight, and sometime after midnight, that's when we'll see this rain transitioned into snow. But notice the darker blues start to turn a little lighter. That's what I meant about the moisture. We'll lose some of it as it continues to transition into snow. This transition will continue through the morning hours into the early afternoon. I do think by about 6 o'clock it'll taper off and move out, but especially after 6 o'clock it should be done. So right around that evening commute, it should be done overall. In terms of precipitation, mainly this will be rain, but precipitation totals, we could see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, especially the farther west you are. You see these kind of pinks, that's maybe 1.5 inches to possibly 2 inches, but really anywhere is going to see a good portion of precipitation. And with that, we do have a flash flood potential due to the rainfalls. You see this slight here. This is the best area south and west. That's where you could see maybe some ponding on roads. And with the ground pretty frozen solid, that will run off into those roadways that could cause, again, a little bit of that flash flooding in roads. I think in terms of riverbanks, I think that flood potential is a little bit lower. Some smaller streams might see a little bit of flooding, but in terms of massive scale flooding, that's not expected. Now here's the snow potential for Wednesday, and I'm going to show you, as I mentioned, the moisture is going to be more readily available off to the west. You see these darker blues? That's where the heavier snow is going to be, just to the north and west of us. But here you can see it's on the lower side. We're kind of towards the light blues in our region, so the snow I don't think will accumulate as heavily. But as I mentioned, anything that falls, you pick that wind up, gusts up to 55, and that's going to make it very difficult to see out on the roadways. So with that being said, the main questions are, especially for accumulation, but just snow in general, when does it transition from rain to snow? If it's later into the overnight hours, let's say 6 or 7 a.m., then as it falls during the day, it's just not really necessarily going to stick. Snowfall rates and moisture are pretty tied together. If there's not a lot of moisture, snowfall is not going to be that heavy, and that may help a little bit with visibility. Obviously, with any snow and winds up to 55, that'll be tricky to see. But if we do have plenty of moisture and snowfall rates are heavy enough, not only could it accumulate, but also make it near whiteout conditions at times, because blizzard conditions is visibility of quarter mile or less for 3 straight hours. So I'm not sure we're quite there yet, but for areas north and west, that could be close to that area if we see heavy enough snow. So that being said, your city-by-city forecast for Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Iowa City here over the next 3 days. So that freezing rain chance Monday morning, it'll be light and very isolated, but just keep that in mind. Tuesday, it'll be all rain during the day. Then Wednesday, we'll see that transition from rain to snow from west to east as we go throughout the day. So there's that yellow alert day. High temperatures. Again, we could see some 60s on Monday, 50s on Tuesday. We'll hit the 30s probably during the morning hours. Then temperatures stay steady or fall throughout the day. Thursday will be dry, and then Thursday night into Friday, we could see another light wintry mix chance, but this is going to be much less impactful than the one on Wednesday, but just something to keep in mind. That moves out Friday night, and then after that, we're pretty dry. We warm up. Daylight saving time starts Friday night, or I should say Saturday night, excuse me, or technically Sunday at 2 a.m. So make sure to set those clocks forward when you go to bed Saturday night. And then after that, look at that to start the following week. High temperatures in the 60s and close to 70 on Tuesday.